everybody. Today Grace is with me to talk about composite functions. I think she loves math as much as I do, but we'll see. You ready to learn about composite functions today, Grace? I think that's a yes. Okay, so composite functions means taking one function and putting it inside of another function. How you know which one to put inside of which one is you're going to look at what the question asks. This one says to find f of g of x. Whichever one is inside is the one that you're going to plug into the other function. So this one says to take the g of x function, this is the g of x function, and we are going to plug it into the f of x function for every x in that function. So here is how it would look. I'm going to begin with this function, which is -4. When I get to the x, I'm going to put a parentheses because that is where I'm going to plug in the other function. And then I'm going to finish off that function. So I'm going to plug in 2x minus 7 in that parentheses. Now our only job is to simplify it down. So, of course, with parentheses, the first thing we do is distribute. So -4 times 2x is -8x. -4 times -7 is +28. And I'm going to bring the +9 down. And last, we're going to combine our like terms. So we have a -x. If I combine the 28 and the 9, that's going to be 37. And so that is my new function of f of g of x. Now the second part says, well, what if you did it the other way around? So let's try that. This one says to find g of f of x, which means we are going to take f of x this time, and we are going to plug it in to x in the g function. So I'm going to begin with the 2. When I get to the x, I'm going to put parentheses, leave a space for it, and then finish with the -7. I'm going to plug in the f of x function, so -4x plus 9. Next, we simplify. Grace, you still with me? You doing this problem with me? All right, 2 times -4x is -8x. 2 times 9 is 18. Minus 7. Last, we combine like terms. -8x, combine 18 and -7 would be +11. And that's it for that question. All right, I'm going to do one more because they do get a little bit more challenging than this. This is a basic plugging in of two linear functions. In my next example, you'll notice we have a quadratic, and the only mistake I see students make over and over again is forgetting how to square the binomial. And so I want to show you one example of how to do that. This problem says to take h of x and plug it into g of x. So I'm going to plug in h of x, take this function, and I'm going to plug it into the g of x function in place of that x. So it will look like 2. Here's the x, so I'm going to put the parentheses in. Squared -7, and ooh, there's another x there. So I also need to plug in the function there. So I'm going to plug in 3x minus 5 2 times. So anytime you're plugging in for all x's in the other function. So be careful about that. Okay, now here's the simplification step I want you to be careful about. This part right here, remember what this means is that there is actually 2 of these parentheses. It's 3x minus 5 times 3x minus 5. There's 2 of them. So you always want to multiply these out first, then you will multiply that result by 2. Here's how it's look. This is maybe if you remember back in the day doing FOIL. This is when you're going to use those FOIL skills. You'll do first. So I'm going to bring down this 2 so I don't forget it. 3x times 3x, 9x squared. I have a -5 times 3x is negative 15x. I have again 3x times negative 5, another negative 15x. And negative 5 times negative 5 is positive 25. So that's just this piece. Now I need to distribute here. It looks like I'm going to run out of paper. We're going to do our best. Negative 7 times 3x is negative 21x. And negative 7 times negative 5 is positive 35. All right, we managed to squeeze it in. All right, now let's distribute this 2. At the same time, I'm going to combine these like terms. I know that these will combine to be negative 30x. So I'm going to distribute the 2 to all of these terms. So we have 2 times negative 9x is going to be 18x squared. 2 times negative 30x is negative 60x. 2 times 25 is 50. And I'm going to bring down the minus 21x and the 35. We're almost there. Hang in there. Okay, we're going to combine our like terms. There is nothing that will combine with this 18x squared, so I'm going to leave that one like that. I have a negative 60x and a negative 21x. So that's going to combine to be a negative 81x. And then I have a 50 and a 35 to combine to be 85. And so now we have simplified it down as much as we can. And that is it for how to do composite functions. The main thing is just plugging one function into the other and then simplifying down using your algebra skills. Good luck.